Today on Public Eye News, Michigan Tech announces a degree in aerospace engineering to begin in fall 2025. Later, we'll have safety tips for deer hunters after 3 deaths of those in Blaze Orange have occurred this season.
Soon, Austin Graham will have your weather forecast for the next couple of days. He'll also bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Bradley Seaborg.
And I'm Liam Euland-Joy. You're watching Public Eye News. The Michigan State Police have arrested 3 suspects for felonious assault. This comes after a November 17th altercation at Bear Paw Inn in 3 Lakes, where 3 subjects allegedly assaulted 2 individuals. A firearm was also discharged several times during the incident, though no one was reportedly hit. State police troopers and sergeants from the Calumet and Ishpeming posts then located and arrested the 3 subjects, 2 male and 1 female. All 3 were arraigned in the 97th District Court in Baraga and are lodged in the Baraga County Jail. They now face various assault-related charges and are due back in court on December 3rd. And Michigan Tech University has announced that beginning with the fall 2025 semester, students will be able to pursue a Bachelor of Science degree in aerospace engineering. The program will be part of the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, or MAE. Department Chair Jason Blau, a distinguished professor at MTU, said, quote, "The addition of this new degree is in recognition of the expertise of our faculty, growing research in the areas of aerospace and space technology and engineering, and a tremendous amount of student interest," end quote. The new bachelor's degree adds to existing aerospace engineering minors at Tech, including one available through its Air Force ROTC program.
Northern Michigan holds on to the Superior Cup in the defeat of Michigan Tech in a Quiz Bowl tournament. NMU sent 3 teams, an A, B, and C squad. The A team defeated the Huskies with a record of 7-0 on the day to keep the Superior Cup in Marquette. The tradition has been in place since 2015, with NMU securing the trophy in the spring after Tech took ownership just a year ago. The A team was led by grad student Josh Pletcher and overcame a 140-point deficit in the 6th round to seal a victory. Amelia Bone led the B team, and Brennan Wrigley led the C teams to finish 5th and 6th place respectively. The team will compete next at sectionals in Minneapolis on February 8th. And at Gogebic Community College, the basketball court is getting a new name. Longtime coach Dennis Mackey will receive the honor of having the court dedicated to him in a ceremony on November 26th. Mackey has just recently hit the 500 win mark this season with less than 1,000 games coached in his career. Previously, he was awarded the NJCAA Region 13 Coach of the Year in both 2011 and 2013 for the men's team and in 1998 for the women's team. Before that, Coach Mackey played 2 years at Gogebic Community College from 1982 to 1984. Bay College comes to town on Tuesday for a women's game at 5 p.m. Central Time and a men's game at 7 p.m. The dedication ceremony will take place in between the 2 games. And the National Women's Soccer League final is this Saturday in Kansas City at the first stadium built for an NWSL team. With an inside look at the stadium preparing for the big day, here's CBS's Dana Jacobson.
Pristine shape for Saturday.
KC Current co-owners Chris and Angie Long may still be feeling the sting of their near miss in the semifinals. But showing off their new stadium is also quite the win.
What does it mean to have the championship game here?
I think it's amazing. It's still a great opportunity to show our city, a first-class championship.
The NWSL Championship features the top 2 teams from the regular season, the Orlando Pride and Washington Spirit. Star forwards Marta and Trinity Rodman headline the anticipated matchup being played on a meticulously cared-for patch of grass.
It's called the beautiful game for many, many reasons, one of which is, the pitch is supposed to be beautiful.
An underground heat system to help when the temperatures dip, a vacuum system to help in the rain, and LED grow lamps to keep grass, growing throughout.
What is it like to call this stadium home?
It's pretty special. It is a special environment to be in, especially being a former athlete.
Mira Emma is the sports field manager at the stadium. She's also the leader of the all-female grounds crew working the championship match, a first in league history.
It's an honor. It's an absolute honor to, one, have the championship here, but also to be part of something so special. We want to be the first ever, and we want to just continue to pave that way moving forward.
As you can see behind me, those grow lights are currently on, keeping the grass pristine for Saturday's championship matchup between the Pride and the Spirit. Dana Jacobson, CBS News, Kansas City.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and statewide news after this short break. Stay tuned.
On the next Media Meet, we continue our look at Indian boarding schools and the horribly misguided effort to strip Native children of their cultural identity. The dark history of boarding schools is now being documented through survivor stories, and other initiatives are underway to help restore traumatized communities. Find out more in Part 2 of Indian boarding schools, the history, the heartache, the healing, next time on Media Meet.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Austin Graham here with your weather report. Taking a look outside here on campus, you can see it's a really cold and rainy day here on the campus of Northern Michigan University. Taking a look around the UP, it's really cloudy and rainy all across the Upper Peninsula today, starting off in Houghton with a temperature of 42 degrees. Over in Ironwood, it's 39. Iron Mountain seeing some showers with 38. Way down in Menominee, it is 42. And if we head to the other side of the UP, more towards the east end, Escanaba, Manistee, and Sault Ste. Marie, all humming at 43 degrees. And back in our beloved Marquette, 42 and rainy. Taking a closer look at those conditions, we can see that the wind is coming out of the north at 21 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure is 29.78 inches and rising. Looking towards tonight, it's going to rain even more, and our low will be 39 with the winds coming out of the north at 20 miles an hour. Our moon phase is a waning gibbous. Taking a look towards tomorrow, showers are going to go away, but the clouds are still going to kind of stick around with a high of 43 and a low of 34 with the winds coming out of the north-northwest at 20 miles an hour. Taking a look at the weekend, on Saturday, it's going to be a high of 38, a low of 30. Sunday, a high of 39 and a low of 34. Clouds on Saturday and Sunday. Monday, we're going to see some rain and snow mix with a high of 38 and a low of 28. That's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you for that weather update, Austin. I'm looking forward to saying goodbye to this rain personally, but now it's time for some statewide news, starting with this. 3 hunters have died since deer season began on November 15th. The men, aged 57, 65, and 83, died from heart attacks in Aranac and Tuscola counties. Authorities say this is unprecedented, and the thousands of Michigan hunters should do more to prepare themselves for the demanding conditions of the season. Dr. William Marone, the medical examiner for Bay, Midland, Tuscola, Aranac, and Iosco counties, suggested, quote, better diets, more activity, and everybody should think about a physical before this, because deer hunting is a big deal in this state, but it's also taxing the body, end quote. The Michigan DNR also reminds hunters to stay in contact with someone who knows your plan, saying it could save your life. Other reminders and advice are available on the Michigan DNR website. And the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has announced several new services to help people with substance use disorders, or SUDs. These include upgrades to existing programs. That means an expansion to the number of Medicaid SUD treatment providers. The changes also increase the number of buprenorphine prescribers in Michigan and the availability of medications that treat opioid use disorders. On top of that, the DHHS also launched a new interactive map that makes it easier to locate SUD treatments in the state. People in the Upper Peninsula can use the search feature on the map and input their zip code and locate resources in their area. And over 1,000 workers have been laid off in the Stellantis plants in Toledo, and the auto giant claims more are to come across the globe. CBS News' Gino Vici reports from Detroit.
Union members and local union leadership here on Stellantis say they are beyond frustrated with the company's recent struggles and say they don't understand it. As you just mentioned, another 1,000 employees laid off in Toledo. We're now approaching 4,000 layoffs just this fall. They say they're simply not buying the claim that it's all due to poor market conditions. They believe this is a case of bad management.
It is management's mismanagement, and ultimately it falls on Carlos Tavares for these problems.
Luigi Joykai, Local 51 president and union member at Stellantis, says he believes the recent struggles at the company are not being caused by market conditions. However, last week, Stellantis did announce the layoffs are due to the poor market conditions.
It's a complete fallacy. how can you cite market conditions when Ford and GM just reported in their fourth quarter, I want to say double-digit year-over profits, so record profits again in the fourth quarter, and here you have Stellantis down, well over 20%. It's not the market, it's mismanagement.
Joykai says the roughly 4,000 layoffs in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio are causing a rift among union members because he says the company is waiting to the last minute to notify the union of their plans, making it difficult to communicate what's happening.
And I believe the company is using this tactic to sow discord and dissent among the membership so that we take our eye off the ball and always remember that it is the company's fault.
This is definitely a management problem.
Automotive expert John McElroy says it's bad management and a whole lot more.
The company has got so many products that are so expensive in the market right now. It's been trying to adjust that, bring prices down, add more incentives, throttle back on production. Some of the early signs are a little bit encouraging, but it's got a long way to go.
Moving forward, Joykai says the union is leaving all options on the table to address what's happening at Stellantis.
We're doing everything we can, exploring every avenue through grievances. If we need to strike, that's an avenue as well.
In Detroit, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
After this break, Austin Graham will be back with a sports report you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
After 50 years, the Maple Theater is closing its doors.
If you've ever dreamed of owning a drive-in movie theater, the Cherry Bowl of Honor, Michigan is up for sale.
Town officials said they were taken back to learn the storied State Theater in Bay City has filed for bankruptcy.
You're driven by what you can't have. You're driven by something that has been taken away from you. You want to give it back. I was denied that movie theater.
Welcome back. I'm Austin Graham, and this is your Public Eye Sports Report. Starting off on the mound, Detroit Tigers ace Tarik Skubal has won the AL Cy Young Award, the icing on the cake for his 28th birthday. Skubal is the first Tiger to win the award since Max Scherzer in 2013. At the start of the 2024 campaign, Skubal went 6-0 in his first 9 starts and ended the season the same way in his last 9 starts as Detroit pushed into the playoffs. Skubal made his postseason debut with 17 straight scoreless innings before the Tigers season came to an end at the ALDS at the hands of the Cleveland Guardians. With Skubal's win, the Tigers now have their 6th Cy Young Award winner in franchise history. Spiking things over to volleyball, the NMU women's team has advanced to the GLIAC semifinals after a 4-set decision over UW Parkside. Senior Jacqueline Smith set the tone offensively for the Wildcats with 20 kills. That's the 7th time that she's hit this mark this year. Right behind Smith in kills was senior Megan Meyer with 15, while Allie Barlow provided 50 assists, and Kaylee Barledge held down the fort with 24 digs. The Wildcats now head to GLIAC tournament host site Ferris State for a tilt with the number 11 ranked team in the nation, Grand Valley State. The clash between these two conference rivals is set for Saturday afternoon at 2:30. And saucing things over to hockey, the Detroit Red Wings are hosting the New York Islanders tonight in the Motor City. The struggling Wings are returning home from a California road trip, which saw Detroit get swept by all 3 of the state's NHL teams. The tilt between the Wings and Islanders is the 2nd of the season, with the first contest going in favor of Detroit 1-0. Tonight's game also comes on the heels of the Red Wings honoring recent Hockey Hall of Fame inductee Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk, dubbed the Magic Man, played 15 seasons for the Red Wings, winning a Stanley Cup during his tenure in the NHL. A speech and a ceremonial puck drop is scheduled for 6:40, right before the Wings take on the Islanders at 7. That's all I got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for that sports update, Austin. Well, Liam, Michigan Tech might have a new aerospace program, but it looks like their Quiz Bowl team still needs some work.
Well, Brad, as a member of the NMU Quiz Bowl team who played them in the recent tournament, I can attest it was an incredibly close, ferocious tournament that Saturday. It could have gone either way, but I'm very glad we ultimately clinched the win and held on to our Superior Cup. I will say, though, despite how close it was incredibly fun. But that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. Unfortunately, we won't be joining you next week due to Thanksgiving break, but we'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. I'm Liam Euland-Joy.
And I'm Bradley Seaborg.
And we'll see you then.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.